What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Shout out to the Elite Fleet. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can become a member of the Elite Fleet. And Jason Black has a channel called The Business. Make sure y'all check that out when y'all get a chance. There's not too many people on YouTube that I endorse, but I do support most of what Jason Black says. Obviously, we differentiate on a few things, but he's one of the good ones. So if you haven't checked out his channel, feel free to. But he uploaded something recently that gave me the opportunity to do something that I don't often get to do, which is review a man's spitting game live in the field. Y'all know I love live in the field game analysis, right? It's like if you play sports, it's like reviewing game film. The best way to get better is looking directly at what you just did. But it becomes hard because, so the thing that makes it difficult when you do dating coaching is whenever you try to give examples in field, people always think it's fake or it's staged or you paid the girl or whatever the case may be. It's what you may call it. But they always got something that they make up in their head. But at the same time, if you don't go in field, then they're like, well, you're never going in field. It's not practical. Usually I get around this by using dating apps because it's like you can't really say it's fake because it's messaging and it's pretty close to being in field, but it's not exactly in field. But you know I'm not faking the responses and I'm showing you things that actually work in real time. There has been some times if you go back through to some of my older videos from like 2 years ago where I did like voice record me talking to women and showing you guys how to talk, but it's just kind of hard to do it in a way that's believable. So getting the opportunity to really sit and analyze where someone might have went wrong or where they might have did the wrong thing or weren't being themselves or were trying too hard, you don't always get that opportunity. So I want to take that opportunity by reviewing this right here because a caller called into Jason Black's show in the middle of spitting RIZZ and didn't know he was up on the show because he was too busy spitting RIZZ. So it gives us a perfect opportunity to do a performance review. So with that being said, we're going to get straight into it. Y'all know I don't like to waste too much time, and I've already been talking for 2 minutes, so let's go. Let's see how this Uber driver was spitting game at one of his clients. Let's roll.
Call America 813. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you
up
calling
for
from?
like 4 in the morning and getting up for 4 like 7. Like it was nothing. Right.
Now, really quick, right from the beginning, the way she said, "We are over," lets me know this is a white girl. Now, this is where vetting becomes important, right? Because I need you guys to understand something. When I say women are the same, no matter where you go, no matter the race, I'm talking about their general motives, right? Like being emotional or desiring to get married, right? Or wanting princess treatment. I'm talking about that when I'm talking about in general, right? I'm talking about the idea of feminism and thinking you can go to another country and bring a woman over here and treat her differently than every other woman is being treated simply because she's in another country. I'm talking about stuff like that when I say women are the same. I'm not talking about their personalities, which is why I point out that this is a white girl. Now, by the way she said it's over, it tells me that this is a white girl who fits into one of two archetypes, okay? She's either like the mud shark, surfer girl, sorority girl, party girl, right? Because those are all one archetype. This is basically the ones who get white girl wasted. You know, white girl wasted is a different type of wasted. They always at the bars, you know, getting super drunk, always in the mix, probably have more male friends than female friends. You know, 304s basically, right? Or she's a valley girl, a suburban girl. My dad pays for everything. Always walking around with her father's credit card type of girl. They aren't that different, to be honest with you. But I can tell by the way she says over it that she's one of those two. That matters because that's going to tell you how you talk to her. All right? Now, I'm leaning more towards, she seems more like the surfer girl, party type, sorority chick, you know, turn up chick. A little bit more than she seems like a preppy valley suburban girl, but I got to hear a little bit more. So right off the bat, right, just going off of what I have right now, you should be treating her like a 304 because just the way she said I'm over it gives 304 vibes to me. That's just me being honest with you guys, all right? Now, someone's going to come in the comments and probably say, well, how can you know that, Alex? You might be wrong. But those of you who've been subscribed to this channel, y'all seen the reciprocation I get from women. Y'all see the cooperation I get from women. Y'all see the endless options I have. I clearly know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about how to judge, all right? So I can almost guarantee you I'm right. But let's keep going.
That's funny.
This dude is on his
Your
Uber.
family's down here?
Yeah, well, I live in Cuba.
Okay, cool.
But I have to be here in Southern Miami.
Can you go back and forth to Cuba?
All right, so for those of y'all, sorry about the quality. Quality's a little bit rough because, like I said, the guy didn't know he was calling in. But again, it's authentic, so that makes it better. So for those of you who couldn't hear it, basically she said she's from Cuba. Her family's from Cuba. So I've gotten more information. So now I'm able to say, okay, this isn't your average white girl. This is a white Hispanic woman. For those of you who don't know what that means, essentially this is a Hispanic woman who could pass for white. If you've ever had to go to a job and they have you fill out those little race or ethnicity things, you see they have non-white Hispanic and then they have white and then they have white Hispanic. This is a white Hispanic. That's what this is, right? So that's even more information, which helps you out even more when you're figuring out what's your next talking point or how you're going to treat this girl. You're supposed to keep all this in mind and use it to your advantage. Now she's telling the man she's from Cuba. Let's continue.
Okay. Yeah, I've always wanted to check out Havana.
This guy is on his Uber trying to get something.
Yeah.
She sound thick-necked too, y'all. She sounds plus-sized.
All right, now Jason's saying she sounds thick-necked. I don't know what it is with dudes online, but they always want to try to call women fat for some reason. This girl don't sound fat to me. At no point in her talking does she sound fat. Now, I will say this. The Uber driver has messed up already, and this is the first major gem of the video. The reason I'm saying he's messed up already is because she talked about how she's from Cuba, and he asked her if you could just go back and forth or is there restrictions, and she's like, for the most part, you could just go back and forth. He goes, always wanted to go to Havana. Guys, early gem. If a woman's telling you anything she's accomplished, you either praise her accomplishment, right? Or you add an accomplishment of your own. But what you don't do is admire the accomplishment as if she's achieved something that you can't achieve. It's a turnoff. What I mean by that is if a girl tells you, for example, I've been to Cuba, and you know you've always wanted to go to Cuba, there's nothing wrong with saying, I've always wanted to go to Cuba. Or, I've always thought about going to Cuba or anything along those lines. There is something wrong with saying, I've always wanted to go to Havana, and then just leaving it there. Because if you always want to go somewhere, the next thing that naturally would pop into someone's head, especially a woman, because guys, remember what I tell you all the time. When you first talk to a woman, they're looking for reasons to disqualify you, not qualify you. All right? Always keep that in the back of your heads. So anyways, when you say to a woman, I always wanted to go a little Havana, the first thing in her head that's going to pop up is, well, why haven't you gone? She's going to make up in her head you haven't gone because you can't afford it. This is why I say you never praise a woman's accomplishment without adding your own accomplishment. What he should have said is, okay, I always wanted to go a little Havana, but I just haven't made my way over there yet. And then he should have talked about a place he'd been and asked her, is there any other places that she's traveled to? Because what that would have signaled in her brain, instead of, you a broke dude who reminiscing about going places, what that would have signaled in her brain was, okay, so you've traveled to other places, you just haven't gotten around to Cuba yet. See, now it's going to pique her interest. Well, where else have you traveled, right? You only got to name one destination. I always wanted to go to Cuba, I've been to Puerto Rico, but I haven't been to Cuba yet. I always wanted to go to Cuba, I've been to Brazil, I haven't been to Cuba yet. I always wanted to go to Cuba, I've been to Africa, I haven't been to Cuba yet. That's all you had to say. And from there, she would have just been like, okay, well, where else have you been? You name the other places you've been. Where else have you been? I've been da-da-da-da-da. What's your dream spot? Like, is there a dream vacation you haven't had a chance to go on? So many ways you could have branched off from that conversation. But when you just say, I always wanted to go to Havana, I mean, what the hell is she supposed to say to that? Y'all got to think when y'all talking, man. Because, I mean, if a woman says, I go to Havana all the time, and you say, I always wanted to go to Havana, I mean, that almost comes off like, what are you asking me to take you to Havana? Because it's like, what are we talking about here? So that's what I mean, guys. That's why I like to have situations like this, because I can give you an example of what I mean. So you always follow up with your own accomplishment. You never just praise her accomplishment and just leave it at that. Always open up with your own accomplishment or follow up with something. He just goes, oh, I would want to go to Havana. Again, it's like a girl saying, I got a degree. And your response to that is, oh, yeah, I was in school to get a degree. Or, oh, I always wanted to get a degree. If you leave it like that, it's going to be like, well, damn, I mean, what are you doing with yourself? Because clearly you didn't get a degree. So did you get a trade? Did you start a business? You know, like, what did you do? You guys see what I'm saying? A better response would be, oh, I always wanted to go to college. Well, I always thought about going to college, but I ended up leaving it because I decided to get my CDLs instead. Oh, you got your CDLs? You see what I'm saying? Follow up with an accomplishment of your own. But don't praise something she did and follow up with nothing, because then it makes it look like she accomplished something that you're incapable of accomplishing. Women want to feel like you're a superhero. They don't want to feel like they're better than you. The minute you make them feel like they're better than you or they've done something that you can't do, you drop down from admired and you drop down from partner. Now you go into, oh, I would never talk to this guy box. But let's continue.
Because my friend was telling me about the SOS Cuba situation. I wasn't 100% like understand it. I didn't really understand like what it was exactly.
She is so bored by his ass.
Protested a couple years ago.
She's giving him no play.
Off Dale Mabry.
Yes, remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
See, look, the conversation has stopped. And Jason is right. He's boring the hell out of her. And the reason the conversation stopped is because he didn't follow up with anything. So now it's starting to get dry, so he has to continue to talk about Cuba. Oh, I heard about the SS whatever, probably some type of a cruise ship or something. I don't know, right? But here's my thing. You're still talking about Cuba. This woman's from Cuba and just told you she goes back and forth to Cuba all the time, right? Going to Cuba is similar to going to Puerto Rico or a Caribbean island. It's not something you should be making a huge hurdle of. You understand what I'm saying? You still talk about different ways you heard about to get to Cuba. This is something this woman does all the time. By not following up with places you have been, right, or just changing the conversation in general, you're really harping on Cuba, which goes back to what I said before. It's just going to make her think, damn, do you want me to take you to Cuba? Because all I said is I'm from Cuba and I go back and forth, and you're still talking about how you want to go to Cuba and you've been researching ways to get to Cuba, but you're not too sure about it. You're making yourself seem incompetent. Or I've been researching this SOS, whatever it is, but, I don't know too much about it. So you can't even plan a trip. So if you can't plan a trip, how are you going to plan a life together? Let it breathe, run it back. If you can't even plan a trip, how are you going to plan a life together? Not only is he boring the hell out of her, but I'm telling you right now, he making the V-Box dry. All right, it's probably a tumbleweed rolling down the V-Box right now. But let's continue.
Singing the song. She ain't paying this nigga no mind. You already lost her, bruh. She's singing the damn song, nigga. You already through.
See this awkward silence, guys?
Y'all see, she's singing this old damn. I forget who it was who made that song one way or another. It's like, these boots is made for walking. Nigga, she ain't even paying you no
See, he
attention.
done walked himself into silence. Now, let me say this as well. What the hell type of music is this man playing? You can't RIZZ to know one way or the other. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you. Like, that's a song you use as a joke at like a Halloween party or in a movie or something. No one just drives around listening to that song. This woman sounds like she's probably somewhere from her 20s to like 35. This is a younger woman. She don't want to hear that. What are you doing? See, this guy has no RIZZ. Let me tell you guys something. For those of you who've been following the channel long enough, y'all know I used to drive Lyft and Uber. I might even get back into it. Like I said, it's a good side job. I'll give you guys a true story. So one time when I was driving these girls, this was not even a whole year ago. Probably like 7-8 months ago. I was driving these girls. I picked up these 3 girls. They was in town for a homecoming, and they were looking for a party. They wanted me to drive them to this house party, right? I could tell the girls were already a little bit tipsy, you know, these college age girls, so I wanted them to have some fun, you know? So I'm playing, you know, my regular hip hop music, right? I'm playing, you know, hip hop music or whatever, you know. It's 10 o'clock on like a Friday, Saturday, right? So I'm playing my music. All of a sudden, in the back seat, a certain song comes on, Glorilla's song, as a matter of fact. It was Glorilla's song, F-N-R-E-E-F, Do Free or whatever, right? So one of the girls in the back seat go, oh, can you turn that up? I'm like, yeah, of course. So I turn it up. I got the Bose speakers. The Bose speakers is blasting in the car. You know, they in the back seat twerking. They lit. Shorty in the front seat next to me is in the back seat recording her girls twerking. They're having a great time. Having such a good time, we even stopped at the red light. One of the more ratchet ones in the back gets out of the car, starts twerking at the red light. All right, we got girls twerking out the window. Like, it's just a lit situation, all right? Guys, if you're trying to rizz up a chick, you have to know what type of women you're dealing with. Remember when I said at the beginning of the video, everything I say, I don't say anything for no reason. Remember when I said at the beginning of the video, knowing what type of woman that you're dealing with is important? Because once you identify you're dealing with a party type girl, all right, she's in the age bracket of 20 and 35, she don't want to hear nothing like one way or the other, all right? You need to put on some rap music so she can shake that behind, or you need to put on some pop music, you know? She want to hear some up-tempo Taylor Swift, or maybe some Kesha, or some, what's that girl's name? Olivia Rodrigo, or Dua Lipa, or something like that. Something's going to make her like jam. Because white girls are either going to white girl jam out to that type of music, or they're going to try to black girl jam out to traditional hip hop and just try to twerk and stuff like that, because everybody twerks nowadays. But my point is, if you want to escalate sexual attraction, you need to be being a man. Ain't no way a grown-ass man is riding around listening to one way or the other. I'm going to get you. You're not listening to that. So that says to me, you put that music on because you thought she would like it. Now, this is something I told you guys a long time ago. You never, ever, when in the car with a woman, play music based upon what you think she likes. You play what you like. You play what you like. And she should be falling into your frame. All right? And at the end of the day, if this is a chick who I already told you was identified as a 304 in a goddamn Uber, you should be trying to get her lit, turned up. Now, my thing is this. I wasn't even trying to talk to girls who were in my car. I was just trying to make sure they had a good time. But if I wanted to spank their cheeks, I could have, because the party that they asked me to drive them to was actually, they had the wrong address for the house party. So I ended up taking them back to the hotel. They were like, can you just take us back to the hotel? I said, yeah. So we stopped at a liquor store. They brought some more liquor. I took them back to their hotel. We turned up, you know. I sent them on their way. But if I wanted to go up there, I could have. Our vibe was completely different than this vibe. This vibe is the way it is because he's being awkward and he's being a tryhard. Just play your music. If he'd have been playing whatever music he standardly listens to, right? Rather that be rock, rather that be hip hop, you know, rather that be heavy metal, whatever it is he usually listens to, rather that be whatever it is. Who knows what the man listens to? But had he been playing that, she probably would have rather heard that. Instead, this dude put on some surfer ass song. I can picture now that the dude on the radio, for the radio station he's playing, is probably like, what's up, you guys? This is 102.93, The Wave. It's wavy over here. Hey, we got a little bit of 80s flavor coming for you guys. Get your pastel and neon colors out. Yeah. That's the vibe this radio station is getting. And that's not going to get you laid, brother. You're not creating an atmosphere that's sexy. You're not creating an atmosphere that's mysterious. You're not creating an atmosphere that's masculine. You're creating an atmosphere that's a little bit awkward and is giving friend zone vibes. I'm just telling you. This is why I like to review stuff that's in field, because you can really get into like the nitpicky details that you can't always get into when you're just talking in general. But this video is actually about to end soon, and then it's just going to be Jason basically making fun of him. We aren't really sticking around for that part, but let's wrap up the rest of the Uber ride.
You might as well put her on the phone with me. Let me see if I can redeem this situation for you, because you done.
So many geekos.
Y'all see, she's not even talking to him anymore. It's already over.
Yeah, he blew it. He's cooked. Like, why is he playing this song?
She ain't even talking anymore, y'all. She ain't
Why
even
is he
talking
playing
no more.
this song? Like, is dude Lurch? Dude playing this song like he Gomez from the Addams Family or something. Like, I'm not understanding this song choice, man.
Well, these are the passport bros right here. He done run out of money. She's like, the conversation is lame. She's not invested in him. There's no conversation going on. She's like, I don't see where this is going. He talking about Cuba. I ain't even been to Havana. And she's like, all right, broke nigga next.
Also, peep how Jason Black just said the same thing I said. He talking about Havanas. He said, okay, broke dude, next. You can't do that. He drugged the whole conversation about how much he wants to go somewhere she goes all the time. You gotta flip into something interesting about you, my guy. Something. Your music choice isn't even interesting. That's why the conversation went dead, because all you're doing is acting like Cuba is some huge hurdle for you to get over. Cuba? Come on, bruh. It's not Dubai. We talking about Cuba. We talking about practice.
Now, the music is straight playing, but there ain't no game getting spit, y'all. The music is just straight playing. She just back to, she's sitting back to that damn car looking at the city skyline go by. She's on her phone playing Candy Crush. You notice he was talking 1 minute, the conversation is dead. I don't know what radio station it is. He's got area code 813, so I don't know what radio station it is.
That's what I'm saying. This is like Surfer Boy Radio or something. I don't get it. No, this is getting pathetic, man.
Yeah, 1 minute they was talking, the next minute it's dead silent.
Probably good one.
Honestly, this woman sounds like she's drunk right now, which y'all already know. I told y'all about those drunken hot girls. So he shouldn't have tried nothing tonight, but I mean, damn, he could have, I mean, I don't, she's gone now. She's out the car. She's gone.
Oh, he just dropped her off. He just dropped her off, boy. The Uber driver struck out.
Hello?
Little late for that now, isn't it? Why don't you go bring her back? We were enjoying the conversation.
So from here forward, it's pretty much just going to be Jason roasting the guy. We don't really need that part of it, but, you know, guys, listen. This is why I say it's very important to, when I listen to guys talk to girls, I realize the thing that messes y'all up the most, right? And the best gems come for those who stay to the end. I repeat, the best gems come for those who stay to the end. What messes y'all up the most is lack of confidence, not being yourself, which really goes back to lack of confidence as well, and trying too hard, which also goes back to lack of confidence as well. That's what killed him. Putting on that radio station is trying too hard. Now, listen, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he really does listen to that type of music on a regular basis, but I highly doubt it. And I'm telling you guys right now, when you play music, women think women like, they often just look at you like you're gay. They very rarely take that and say, oh, this is a well-cultured man, or he's a man who's balanced in his masculinity and femininity. Most of the time, they just think, oh, he's gay. Now, if she likes you already, it's fine to show her your versatility in music. But when you first meet a woman, you need to put her onto your playlist, bring her into your frame. You go into her frame later. She comes into yours first. All right, when you're going into her frame, it's just showing her she's the main piece and you care about her. She's supposed to be coming into yours as a lifestyle. How can she do that when you pandering to her? Lack of confidence. Why are you saying he had a lack of confidence, Alex? Simple. Because he said nothing about himself. He just got stuck on the fact that he thought it was cool that she went to Cuba. Well, what have you done, my man? Anything? Have you been anywhere? Have you done anything? Nothing about himself. No self-praise. All he did was praise her. That's all he did was praise her. You know, I'm going to talk about how much I want to do something. As a man, you should never be talking to a woman about how much you want to do something, but you haven't done it yet. You should be talking about how much you've done and how much you plan to do. Let it breathe, run it back. As a man, you should never be talking about how to a woman about how much you want to do something. You should be talking about how much you've done and how much you have planned to do. And if he had listened to me, the conversation wouldn't have went dry, because if he had listened to me, he would have followed up her Cuba thing with some places he's gone or some places he plans on going, and would have also followed up with where else have you been? Where else do you plan on going? And the conversation would have flowed. A lot of you guys get into trouble also trying to tell women what you think they want to hear instead of just talking to them like they're regular people. Guys, remember this. When you're talking to a girl, look past the ass, look past the titties, look past how pretty she is, and talk to her like she's a regular person. As a matter of fact, I think it would help a lot of y'all out is when you seen a gorgeous girl, you just pretended she was ugly. Because when you see an ugly woman, you don't feel a filter. You don't feel a need to pander. You'll crack jokes on the ugly girl. You'll be yourself around the ugly girl. The ugly girl doesn't make you feel like you don't belong. The pretty girls is what make you guys change up and be different and pander and simp. And you want to know why the bad guys get the good girls? And I'm going to end the video with this. Because the bad guys, if a hood dude or a Chad or a Tyrone, Ling Ming, whoever would have picked this woman up, he'd have been blasting his own music, would have probably been something hyper masculine. He would have followed up her trip to Cuba with some places he'd been, or he would have basically just told her he don't give a damn about her going to Cuba and it's not impressive to him because he ain't worried about no damn Cubans. Either way, those two things would have turned her on better than this guy sitting here. Oh my God, you've been to Cuba. That's so great. Oh, I wish I could go to Cuba. I don't understand that reaction, man. But that's pretty much where he messed up, man. Too much pandering. All right, too much pandering, not enough self-esteem, not starting enough conversation, and just not having no compliments, man. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, not compliments, accomplishments. Gotta talk about yourself too. Keep her talking, and then add in some little gems about yourself. Don't go through your whole history line. That's why I said just bring up one place you traveled, then ask her where she's traveled. Let her tell you her whole life story. All you gotta do is say one thing, keep her talking. Either way, y'all. I am Alex, and I am out. Peace.